This episode of Whiskey Riff Raff is brought to you by Slick Woody's Cornhole Company. Proudly made in the United States, Slick Woody's manufactures premium cornhole boards, accessories, and tailgate games so you have the gear you need to play your best game. Visit slickwoodies.com and choose from an arsenal of board designs, including their one-of-a-kind, all-weather cornhole board endorsed by Trex Decking Company. Or you can create your own custom board set with their graphic art team. Great for your next country festival, tailgate, family get-together, or a custom gift. At www.slickwoodies.com, and don't forget to use our coupon code RIF10 at checkout. Stick around after the podcast. We're going to be chatting with the world's best cornhole player, Matt Guy.
So we got Jon Pardi here, and he was just saying, you have 5 of those cows?
Yep, they're Highlanders. They're fuzzy cows.
Yeah. Where at? Back in California?
At my house? No. It's in. I live in Nashville, so they're out right now with the goats. I can see them from here.
So did you move out of town, like further out? I assume, obviously, by a good amount, or kind of close, still pretty close to Nashville?
No, I live 20 minutes north of Nashville. I always judge it by, like, if I have to take a dump, I can still go home in time. That's a good, that's a solid.
So important.
That's so true. Like, it's solid. Like, hey, damn it, I don't want to do this at this shitty bar. I'm gonna run home real quick, and like, I still live close enough. But if it's emergency, I'm not that close. Not that close.
I've been there. There's nothing. It's top. I mean, it's up there to the top most uncomfortable moments with a human being is like when you're in a bar bathroom taking a dump, and it's one of those old ones where there's not even a door. Door opens, you make eye contact with somebody in the bar. They see you, and you're just like.
There's always that one bar that it's like they do it on purpose. It's like, let's see how big of a man are you? Like, only real man shit with the door open.
And then some guy comes in and he's like talking to his buddy. He's just holding the door open.
One of those like, or if there is a door, it's like you got to like hold it.
Saloon door.
Because it's so, the lock doesn't even work. Airport can get bad too, though.
Oh, I hate airports.
The airport thing, everyone's in the same boat, though. It's like we're all taking a miserable shit in a line right next to each other. It's 7 a.m. Like, my intestines are bleeding because I just been in fucking Las Vegas or wherever for like a week, Mexico. We're all in the same boat.
This happens, man.
You were just in Mexico, right?
Yeah, with Cabo San Lucas, my new favorite spot to go vacation. Highly approve of everybody going there and visiting.
Toll West, the same thing. It's amazing, right?
It's very calm. Like Cancun's very spring break, but Cabo's like just chill.
Mm-hmm.
And it was very awesome. The sun was amazing. We actually got color. We got a tan, and we got to go on a boat, and like literally the food was great, and we really didn't do much. We just stayed at the resort and had a great time. It was basically our honeymoon because we never went on a honeymoon, just because of COVID. And then once we got through COVID and concerts started, well, hell, we were on the road and there wasn't any time. We were playing catch up, so we finally got some time off and can enjoy ourselves. And usually we go vacation with our friends, and this was our first one, just me and Summer. And it was nice, but then we're like, like 2 or 3 days in, like, all right, we can use some homies now. Let's
That's so true. We did a trip like 4 years ago, maybe, to Dominican, and you're kind of like there all day at the resort. Cabo, I like because you can kind of get out and go into like the town and stuff. But like this was kind of like you were kind of like there, and you were not stuck there. It's a great place to be stuck, but. We had like a 4-day thing, and like by day 4 you're like, shit, like I don't know if I can keep getting this hammered. You want to just hang out, but there's not much to do other than drink, eat, sit by the sun. You kind of are longing for like a little bit of like a boost, some friends. But it's fun, right? Isn't it fun getting kind of just drunk with your wife at just like just you two just kind of partying? It's kind of fun because it's hard to do. If you're in Nashville, it's not going to feel the same, right? When you're kind of out there, nobody.
I mean, it's pretty easy to do in Nashville,
but different. Trust me, we know how easy it is there.
Well, and then once you have kids, it's like good luck ever doing that again.
Yeah, no, we definitely enjoyed our 11 o'clock drinks, or hell, 10 a.m. 9 a.m. And we'd have naps. We'd take a nap at like the midday, and then we'd go to dinner. But we went to bed early. But yeah, it was fun, and it was the the pool was awesome, and we got to have dinner on the sand. We totally went full bachelorette ABC style, and I was like, I watched people do it. I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's get a dinner on the beach and let's see what it's like. And it was fun. I haven't done that, so it was good. And no, it was a great trip, man. It really was. And I realized that I have no allergies in Mexico. And I tried to, because we're getting ready to finish the rest of the album, and I have to sing. And Nashville, I'm doing good right now, but Nashville, I think my body's used to the allergies, but damn, it was hard about around April. But in Mexico, 2 days I was there, I was like, man, I'm singing so good. Like, we should do vocals. I was trying to get the label to was set up in Mexico to sing vocals, and they were super cool. And they're like, look, we can't do Mexico, but we can do Key West. So not next week. Hold on, let me think. I don't know. And on the 22nd, I'm flying to Key West to go finish the record singing and get that tropical kind of air and not have allergies.
That's smart. Set up like a vocal booth, or is there like studios down there? Jimmy Buffett's got to have one, right?
Yeah, Jimmy Buffett's. We're going to Jimmy Buffett studio. George Strait's cut there. Alan's cut there.
That's awesome.
They fly all the players down there, but we're just going to sing vocals. And I was like, hell, I mean, they always say like the ocean and the salt water's healing, and I'm excited for that. So. And
that humidity is so good for your breathing and your nose and all that shit, right?
Yeah, and there's not a lot of pollen. Like out here, the pollen's really bad right now, and so yeah, no, I'm excited, and we got some vocals next week. We're gonna try to pump out some get some songs before I got to sing 14 songs. So and it's due in June 5th. We have to be done by June 15th. So it's a very critical time because we don't want to miss our release date. And I'm on such a big label. So you get that release date. That's a big deal. Because if you don't release something, somebody else is going to release something. You got Luke, Dirks, Eric, Darius, Keith Urban, Little Big Town, Casey Musgraves, Chris Stapleton. I mean, all these artists, they're just like, well, damn, when am I going to get my album out? But I got my release date. So it's in September. I can't say exactly when, but we're shooting for September. So my ass has got to be really good and take care of myself.
Any surprise collaborations on the record?
I have a song with Luke Bryan coming out. I don't know. It's still, Luke got a song. It's great. I love this song. And then of course we got the Midland song.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we're going to put that on the record also, just to kind of
cool.
Old school to be on their record, be on my record. I think it'd be fun.
William Whalen style.
Yeah,
William Whalen. So that's exactly what the guys said. They're like, that's so old school, but it's just it helps it helps everything work together. There's so many complicated things when two artists get together. You'd think it'd be so easy, but then there's like the whole label side, and then the whole administration side of well, we got to get this, and you're on this, and you're on this. But how it came together is a good story. So Midland was cutting this record, the Last Resort record, and they did a couple sessions, and I was writing Rhett Akins, who wrote A Longneck Way To Go, and he was kind of mad. He was upset that they didn't record A Longneck Way To Go yet. They didn't do it yet. It was like their first session. And so he played me the song. He goes, man, do you like this song, John? And Midland didn't cut it. I was like, damn, I love this song. I was like, let me know if they don't record it, I'll sing this song. And then fast forward, Midland did another session and finished up the record, and they didn't even know that I knew the song, and they reached out and like, hey, would you like to be on the song? Well, actually management, they reached out because, like I say, got all that stuff.
Red tape.
All the, just kind of gotta seal the deal. Yeah. And they reached out and they're like, Midland wants you to have you on a song. And I said, is it A Long Neck Way To Go? I like literally asked him. And it turns out it was. And I was like, hell
Nice.
yeah, I want to sing that song. And I told the guys that, and they kind of laughed. They were blown away by this story I had about the song that they really didn't know about. And it's just kind of weird how the world works, you know, in mysterious ways and great ways. And that's how that came about. And then the video, which I think is a great video.
It's cool, yeah.
Cameron had that idea, and Harper, his wife, shot everything and was like based off the Big Lebowski in a way. And it was just everything came out. It's super fun. I love the song, and I always love the song. That's the best thing, and that's why I love songs. If I write them, if I don't write them, you know, it's a good song. It's a good song, and it was just awesome to be a part of.
We had a fan ask if you guys had a few long neck bottles during the shoot of that video.
My band doesn't really remember. We definitely left feeling really good, and Harper had a really hard time with a lot of the guys trying to get their attention to like, hey, we need to get this scene, we need to get this shot. We were just like, you know, bowling and drinking. But we definitely, there was nothing fake about having a good time in that video. And I think that came through. Mm-hmm. And we were just literally enjoying ourselves. Two bands getting together who've toured together. We've had a lot of history, and it was just like, it was a big party, and it was a lot of fun. So yes, we definitely drank that video.
It's an underrated. Don't go to bowling alleys that often anymore, but that pitcher of beer in the plastic pitcher at the bowling alleys is a top tier beer. Usually it's always crisp. It's always cold. People are just kind of getting hammered and bowling, and nobody's any good usually. So do you have the 7 a.m. airport beer, the working on the farm beer? Do you have a favorite beer scenario that you like to go to? Obviously, like a baseball game's fun for me. When I say a beer, plenty of beers. If you're gonna have plenty, the garage beer, you'll see one day when you have a kid. You just kind of hang out in the garage.
Well, man, I got garage beer.
I would say his garage is probably the size of my house.
Yeah, that's true.
No, I've got Coors Light and Michelob Ultra. I mean, that's
literally what I got right now. I swear to God, you got to keep the figure.
Coors Light, Michelob Ultra, can't go wrong. If they bitch about Michelob Ultra, we're like, here's
Busch Light.
And Busch Light. I do like Busch Light. I like Busch Original too.
Yeah, Busch.
That's really good. Actually, I live out in the country, and there's this little market up there, and they sell Busch Light in bottles in a 6-pack.
Oh, it's so hard to find.
I know but they got it there. They got it there, man. And there's this old guy. Because everything's growing now, you know, the lawns are getting bigger and growing. Oh, yeah. So he's got this beard, and he's got gray hair. He's got this long beard, and he's got his like fucked up cowboy hat. And he literally, every time he mows, man, he drives his mower down to that store and fills it up with gas and gets 3 tall boys of Busch Original. Every time I see him, and I somehow run into him all the time, but 3 tall boys of Busch Original, puts it in his sack, and then takes off on his riding lawnmower back to his house. I said, that boy's gonna go mow right there. He's having a good time.
He's got a job to do.
He's got something to do.
It is fun. There's a Busch beers, especially for the fall, is great. I think I had a horrible situation when I went to college where I drank too many by myself because I was like, I didn't know anybody, got some with a fake ID, fell asleep in my dorm room, and like ended up waking up and throwing up over all my textbooks. It cost like $25,000. It seemed like back in the day. I mean, it was overpriced, and I had to literally buy the same textbooks twice because I couldn't handle my Busch back when I was, what was that? We were like 18, 19 probably. Oh man. What's your hangover cure? That hangover had no cure. You got Pardi Batch, now you're whiskey. You like tequila, I know. What's a Jon Pardi hangover cure?
Oh, man. There's no cure for a hangover.
Other than just keep drinking.
I just say the hair of a dog, a good screwdriver. Screwdriver is always good. You get that morning orange juice with a little bit of kick to it, a little bit of Tito's. Bloody Mary's not bad. And if you really want to get a buzz really quick, champagne. No mimosa, champagne. Or you get the little drip thing, and just put a little
Make it cloudy.
Just to make it a little a tint of yellow. Yeah.
But the thing is, you gotta be careful because you'd be like starting hair of the dog. But if you're feeling good and everything's going well, you're just going in round 2.
Like drinks,
prolonging the inevitable.
Then you're down at Losers in Nashville, and then you just, you don't have any clue what you're doing.
Oh, yeah,
but there is no cure for a hangover. I've tried everything.
I appreciate that. Yeah, that's true. There actually is no real cure. Like Pedialyte, all that stuff is great, but like you're not feeling 100%. You're not going to go for a 5-mile run.
IV. It's like we've tried it all. Like nothing helps.
Nothing helps, but the best thing you can do is drink water. In all honesty, it's not make it feel better, but it's going to help you the next day. But yeah, there ain't no damn cure.
I've noticed as of late, if I'm a little squirrely from it, like a really, really hot steam room for 15 minutes, ice cold water. And then you get this like electrolyte stuff, and then you just sit in there and just like feel like you're about to die and you're baking, your lips start twitching, and then you go take a cold shower, and then you keep drinking water. Within a couple of hours, you're close to being good, but
you're gonna run at about 70%.
Yeah, exactly.
But I'm kind of glad there's no cure for a hangover. I think we all need hangovers in the long run because it's definitely going to teach you a lesson about what the hell you did last night if you remember that, and B, if we didn't have hangovers, think about it. Just think about it.
I've never thought of that. I've actually never thought of that.
We'd be rolling harder than we do right now.
People be drinking on the job, just
like I feel great, man. This alcohol don't give me a hangover. I'm gonna drink all the time. No, I mean, and it's for a reason. It's for a reason.
Human life expectancy would be like 45.
Exactly. You don't think about it, but damn, I'm kind of glad there's hangovers.
Well, speaking of today, Fill Her Up, new song that you released. That's a fun one to drink too.
That's a good old honky tonk drinking song, and that it's just got that old school shuffle to it, and it's fun, and I don't know, everybody's like, what's it mean? What does it mean? It means that we're gonna start drinking and have a good time. That's literally there's nothing more to it.
Yeah.
But what does it mean? It means give me another drink.
It's just like people always want to like dissect everything. Those questions got to annoy the hell out of you, right? Like,
I mean, on some songs it's not bad, when you got you got something to tell or a story, but hell, drinking songs kind of lay it out on the line, I mean, it's there, but when it comes to font, you just can't be like, listen to the song.
Yeah.
So, but if you make it quick and pretty, that helps, like, hey, it's a drinking song about having a good time and getting another drink.
Well, that's like the fun of a drinking song. It's simple, it's straightforward, and you want to drink to it. Like that's all it needs to be.
Yeah, but there's other drinking songs that you want to cry songs. To it. You're like, oh damn it, shit.
It's there's always that. Yeah, there's that element. Even like with Chattahoochee and Jackson back here, it's like you got to just be able to. People that are like snobs about it too much about like this is the lyrics are terrible. It's like even the all-time greats, you can have songs that are just straightforward, like fun, upbeat drinking songs. I feel like that gets lost these days in some of the like musical opinion and like the snobbiness. Don't you agree? Or do you agree?
When it comes to opinions and music, it used to be what we all talked about. Now everybody can say what they want. Back in the day when you go into a record store, and this is, I'm not old, but I'm old enough to where I still live the Tower Records and the CD days where you go in and you have your headphones in and you listen to an album. Well, if you didn't like it, you couldn't go say, well, I don't like these lyrics and I think this song sucks. And, it was just like, you just didn't buy it, and I kind of miss that, but everybody loves music. And if they want to say this song sucks, okay, cool. Well, somebody likes this song, but that's regardless they love music. They love it enough to love it or hate it. But they'll listen again to the next song. And I guess that's all you want as an artist. Like, just keep them listening, keep them coming. And that, it's not for everybody, but it's for somebody.
Mhm.
I would say that you're one of the most traditional guys in mainstream country music. Like, I would say your sound and your style is pretty reminiscent of 90s country, some of the George Strait. I also think you cover 90s country better than anybody in the business.
Well, thank you.
But do you think radio has kind of lost some of that? Like for me, She Ain't In It is like one of the best songs you've ever recorded. And it's still charted fairly well, but I think it was kind of the middle of the pack or so for you. But to me, that's just that should be a number one. Yeah. Anytime, any year, any day, I don't care when. And it's like, well, a little, as Cody Johnson said, a little too rodeo for radio.
Mm. It's it's a tough subject because they got, a lot of radio stuff goes by numbers. And I hate to say it's true, man. It goes by testing. It goes by what's working for the station. And you got to understand that as an artist working on radio, trying to get on radio. And it's all about how you can try to not go full to what the stations want, but try to make it to where it's still you and you still have a little bit of, things that I don't know what the hell they are, but it makes it kind of fit in the playlist, I guess. Like, I mean, hell, Last Night Lonely's at top 20 and that's goddamn fiddle solo. So I don't know. This is where it comes like, I don't know what to tell you, and the only thing I could say is we can all complain about radio, or we can, like my coach always said, we play football, like peewee football. I was horrible in high school, but I still remember this. He said, talk with your pads, not your mouth. And so like, you go hit them, you get back, you get knocked down, you get back up, you go hit them back. And I guess that's how I feel about country radio is, well, all right, that went to 20, Ain't Always a Cowboy, a wonderful song, went to 2. And I ain't complaining. They played it to number. Yeah. If you get a top 5 these days, that's amazing. And for the She Ain't In It thing, I don't know what happened there. It's a great song, but country radio has been great to me. I take every play that I get. I'm thankful for because somebody heard it. I don't care if it's 3 a.m. or 11 or 1, somebody heard that song. And that's the way I look at getting played on the radio. Now, if it doesn't work, what do? I go back, I make a better album. I do something better. At least I think I do it better. So it's whether it's too country or too pop, there's a whole other aspect to my friends that are more of the pop country. Well, then they get complaints that it's too pop for country. And so there's all kinds of either too country or too pop. So you just kind of try to find your way down that road that works. And so there's always, it's either too country or too rodeo for radio or too pop for radio. And but like I said, just be thankful that you even get played and go back to the drawing boards, because why sit there and whine about it?
Yeah.
It's get back to work. Let's go on the grind, man. My whole career is a grind. I'm like a steam machine, like not like the steam engine, like shit. I mean, I'm still, I've been here a long time, and my labels always told me it's a marathon, not a race. So, I just like it goes back to I always remember, talk with your pads, go back, talk with your music, let them with the music, come back with a better song. And I think any artist should have that kind of thinking, and not get down, because it is hard. I mean, look at Walker Hayes. I mean, he was dropped and he came back, and now he had one of the biggest song Grammy nominated. I mean, it's overplayed. I get it, but he did it though. He didn't complain. He's like, I'm gonna make my music, and it worked. So that's a great example too.
Speaking of some of your pop country buddies, Thomas Rhett, his sound is always kind of fluctuating, I think, and we've had some fun with him a couple times in the comments. Wanted to get him on here to talk about some of his dancing, but Is it hard to, when you have these friends that are on major labels that do kind of make a version of country that's played on the radio that is a lot different than you, like, you're really good about like sticking to who Jon Pardi is, your sound. It really hasn't fluctuated a lot, which as a fan, I love when I can know what to expect, but then be excited about the new music at the same time. Does that get hard when somebody's like, you're obviously very successful, but there's a lot of things getting pulled in different directions? Oh, this is doing well on radio. This is what Nashville is like. Because right now the pendulum is definitely the last few years has definitely kind of swung back, I think, to the traditional, especially the 90s country sound. But has it been pretty easy for you to just stick to like, this is the Jon Pardi sound and I'm not going to play games with trying to be what I'm not?
Yeah. I mean, I always try to sprinkle in a little bit of pop. Like, okay, here, let's put it this way. You got 2 badass scoops of ice cream, and then we'll just sprinkle a little bit of pop on top. That's usually, I guess that's how you can describe my sound, or like, and have a bunch of energy. Let's pour some Red Bull on top of that too, and it's like, but it helps. I've always wanted to be an artist that can go play with anybody. I can go play with Thomas. I can go play with Kane. I can go play with I mean, hell, I played shows with Walker. Like, I'm here doing my thing, but I'm everybody's friend. And I don't want to hate on what they're doing. I don't want to, everybody has their influences and they bring it to the music. And that's what artists should do. My influences are George Strait, Alan Jackson, Dwight Yoakam, Tom Petty, Mark Chestnut, hell, Gary Allen. And that's what I think country is. So that's what I bring. So when you ask, like, is it this or that, or what's working, and like Thomas, he has his own stuff. I mean, Thomas is a chameleon, man. I mean, he could do so much. And like, what is it? The country song one.
What's your country song?
What's your country song? Like, that's pretty country. He had a fiddle. I was like, Janae's playing fiddle on it. And then he'll go back to more of that slow down summer, though. That slow down summer melody, that's a strong melody. I listen that on the radio, on the tractor, I'll hear it, and I was like, damn, that's a good song.
But I keep getting a YouTube ad for that. It's like the new single by Thomas Rhett, and then it's like, slow down, and it's always stuck in my head.
I know, but it's catchy, man. I mean, it's good. And so it's I just, everybody paints their own picture, and I think that's where the main respect of being an artist comes from. And of course, everybody, we all want to be arena acts. Everybody wants to be arena acts. We all want to sell out football stadiums, and sometimes it doesn't happen. But if you keep that in the back of your head, that it still can happen. That's what making music is. And I don't know. I mean, it's hard to, what works and what doesn't. But I mean, there's so many things, other things, not music, that didn't work, but then somehow came together and worked out. And you just got to stick to your guns, and everybody's going to have their influences and whatever, just keep doing it. Hell, I did a Metallica song. I mean, that's I love Metallica. When I got asked to be a part of the Metallica project, I was like, hell yeah. yeah.
Well, when I saw the list of artists on there, I was like, Jon Pardi, Metallica, huh? And then when it came out, I was like, holy shit, this is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now we made it was country and western meets metal, and we didn't want to completely change it. And I think it came out great. We added a lot of, we wanted to be like a western movie. And wherever I may roam, it reminded me of a cowboy kind of roaming around, even though the guy's like in an afterlife kind of situation. It just kind of spoke to me, because I had to listen to the Black Album, because I didn't want to do Inner Sandman. I was like, man, everybody's gonna do Inner Sandman. Or there were so many other songs, but there was only 4 Whereby My Roams. And I was like, this is it. This is the one I can do. And so yeah, it came out great. But like I said, man, to each his own. And as long as I could shake hands and get off stage and high five and say that was awesome, that's more important than, having pop country sound, I guess.
to switch gears a little bit, mention your whiskey, Pardi Batch, 112. We haven't had a bottle yet. We haven't tried it yet, so let's get on that. But
Well, I guess we're gonna have to send you some.
yeah, it seemed like that became a thing within the last few years. A lot of country artists have, George Strait obviously with his tequila and a lot of other. Was it always a passion of yours to kind of do something like that, or did it kind of happen a little kind of out of the blue?
Man, I never wanted to be in the liquor business. I literally said the same thing you said. I said everybody's goddamn liquor.
Yeah.
I mean, even The Rock. How are you going to compete with The Rock? The dude's got like 257 million followers. No wonder he's got top selling tequila in the world. Like he could just put one thing on Instagram or socials and be like, buy my tequila. Well, hell, everybody's gonna go buy it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's good too. I mean, Terramana is good. I was at that point. I was like, Thomas has got one. I mean, everybody's Midland's got a tequila, and Cole Swindle had this like Kool-Aid shit, and it was horrible, man.
I saw that bottle. It's right. It's like a cartoon of him on it.
Yeah, I was like, bro, I love you, man. this is straight.
This is for
bad. This is bad juice, man. I don't know if he drinks it, but I sure as hell drinking that shit. But so I was like, man, I'm still trying to make it. I was like, I'm trying to get in arenas, dog. Trying to sell some more tickets. So I really didn't pay attention, but Buffalo Chip is a company I partnered with. And my drummer knew the guy that was kind of making the recipes of the bourbon and whiskey and helping them out. And they really wanted me to be a part of the whiskey and bourbon. And I was like, no, I don't know, I still know. I mean, I kept saying everybody's goddamn liquor thing, and then they kept asking, like, no, they really want you, man. They say you're the guy. And they're like, hey, what? Then they did this. They're like, hey, just give me a list of your favorite bourbons and whiskey. So I gave them a list. I gave Blanton's, Eagle Rare, E.H. Taylor Single Barrel, Stag Junior, one more.
Pappy.
Yeah. I put Pappy in there.
Oh, yeah.
And they came back with 6 batches, and it was like 111, 112. This is the bourbon, 114, 116, 117 proof. I was like, I definitely do not want a 117 proof, but I tried them all, and the 112 was so good. And basically the only reason I'm in the liquor business is because I think this is really good. The Pardi Batch 112 bourbon is really good. The Pardi Batch 94 proof whiskey is really good. And that is really the only reason I'm in the liquor business, because I put my name on something I believe. Mm-hmm. And then the guys that work at Buffalo Chip are amazing. They're so in it to win it. We're working on big things, trying to push the brand, and it's just like this big family now. And I'm having so much fun doing it. So I'm glad I did it, but I was very like, everybody's got liquor, but the only reason I'm in it now, I guess what I'm not trying to be negative, but that sounds negative. The only reason I started it is because it tasted really good. And then when we started working with Buffalo Chip, they're like super great winners, man. They want to win, they want to sell, they want everybody to taste it. So it was just kind of like, hey, like one of those mysterious things like we're talking about, where Midland asked me to be on the song that I already loved. And you just got to keep, hey, like I said, that old steam engine, man, just keep on, just keep on going. Now I got a bourbon, but you got to watch out for the bourbon you get Pardi Batched. You think a hangover? Hangover is bad. You get too many drinks of Pardi Batch, you'll be under the table.
It is a good buzz though, bourbon. I feel like it's kind of, to me at least, has a little bit of that champagne buzz. I kind of feel it in my face first.
A little warm,
which I'm always a big fan of.
Hey, Pardi Batch, you feel it in your toes. Like, damn, my toes are tingling.
You feel my feet.
But it's so good. I mean, literally, you just on
your wife,
ice or neat or whatever you want. Like did
your wife have to sign off on it?
My wife?
Yeah. Did she try it and be like, okay, yes, this is the one?
Summer don't drink whiskey.
Oh yeah. Okay.
No, she Tito's all day.
Uh,
But that's what's more. It's more my band. The biggest sign off was my band because they're all bourbon snobs, and they really kind of showed me what good bourbon is. And when they liked it, I was like, thank God the band likes it, because that would be weird. Think about it. You're like, I'm on tour and Pardi Batch is always around. We're trying to, on the road, you guys come out, we have glass and try it.
Yeah.
And the band gets to have it because it's there. But if they didn't like it, I definitely wouldn't be selling it, but they love it. And they like, they go and do their own bourbon thing. But, if the Pardi Batch is what they got, they don't complain. They love it. They just bourbon guys. It's like, what mood are you in? You want Pardi Batch? You want Blanton's? Do you want this? You're that. And it's a different thing. It's a different thing, but I'm glad the band was the big sign off. So they like it. I'm happy.
I love it.
Are you just carrying it around everywhere you go now? It's just like always
It's
got
on
it
the bus.
On stage, you bring it
man.
on stage now.
Well, we'll play me and Jack, and
me and Batch. You change the lyrics around a little
no, there's he talks about where he's getting out of jail and he was going to get crowned. Well, I'll say Pardi Batch 112. It's a softer rhyme, and that's fun, And I'll say, well, me and Jack Daniels, we got in a lot of trouble, but I still like Jack Daniels, so I made my own whiskey, and I just kind of do that, and it's fun, and it's been fun. So, hey, I'm part of the whiskey game, but I did learn this. That the fans, they, people do have bars at their house, and they do like having all their favorite artists liquor because it it gets on the top shelf, and I've learned that. And some people don't even drink it. They just like having the bottle. But I'm always like, well, you need to drink it, man. It's good. You don't just let it sit there.
Right.
But that was something I learned in being in the liquor business, that people just like to have it because it's yours, and I think that's even more awesome. But I try to tell them, like, at least drink it. You should try it one time. But there's I don't know. It's crazy. It's a crazy world out here, I'll tell you.
Yeah. Well, we're excited to try it. And you mentioned earlier about COVID when you had some time off and playing shows, and now with Pardi Batch, once shows kicked off again, you got a rowdy show, you got passionate fans, a lot of energy. I think the last time we were on the podcast in the office back in Chicago, like, you have some funny stories about fans fighting or whatever we talked about. But did it seem more high charged when you got kicked off again after that like long break you had with COVID? Any crazy stories, any funny stories with the fans? I assume fans got drunker than normal at a Jon Pardi show once things kicked off again.
There was definitely that. I mean, I think everybody was just happy to be back. And
yeah,
it's always been, I would say it's just louder. Let's put it that way. The crowd is louder. They're not even fighting that much, but I mean, thanks to all the fans, the crowds are getting bigger. So if a fight does happen, hell, half the time I don't see it. Hell, I had girls flash me. I didn't see it. I was like, what? Moving around. And I was looking the other way. I'd be like, yeah. And then flashing over here. And my band's like, even someone's like, you see that girl's tits? I was like, no.
Damn it.
I can't even see boobs. I mean, so it's like, I just don't know. I think everybody's just so happy and having a good time. And I don't know. COVID sucked, but it made people appreciate live music and gathering and being together and sports and comedy shows. I mean, it sucked, but it was a blessing in the same time. So I don't really have any fan stories other than it was awesome. And my band saw the boobs and I didn't see the boobs.
Who do you think? Let's play a quick game here. Cause it's like, when you said that, I'm like, which artist out there do you think gets flashed the most? My pick would probably be Riley Green, because we've seen a couple of the videos over him at Floribama, I think was we posted. Mm-hmm. Jon Pardi, apparently you're up there.
Well, I'm only a couple of times that I missed it. You know?
I can see the Midland fellas.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think everybody gets flashed. That's rowdy.
Well, Mark's like a supermodel. Or he
Right.
was like an underwear model for like Versace or something.
Bro,
What was it?
Dude, I lost like 15 pounds, 20 pounds, maybe no, I'm about 15, just to get ready to film a video next to Mark. Like literally, I was like, dude, I gotta lose weight. I gotta lose that COVID weight. But I would say Riley, dude, I'm telling you, Cole Wetzel, I'm pretty sure
yeah.
that
We've had a
boobs all
viral
the
meme.
time. Because I was at Billy Bob's and like they have like the hands or the concrete hands, and then the girls can put on lipstick and kiss your hands. I had maybe like 6. Cole Wetzel was painted in
red
lipsticks. Yeah, and I was like, what the hell is going on with this guy? And like
The aura around that guy. There's something.
he's just like this little.
It's so real. That's
he's
why.
just it's like the second Post Malone coming.
Yeah.
And I guarantee he sees the most boobs out of everybody.
That's a good point.
He's like a true rock star, like in the sense of like almost like a throwback to like the 70s, like just like a modern day like
and he's
rock
doing it
star.
his own. He's got shows with Post Malone. I'm just like,
Snoop Dogg. He just did a thing with Snoop Dogg.
Yeah, I follow him, and it's cool, man. I'm just like, yeah, get it, dude.
He's gonna, and he can do it because you'll if you go through his catalog, you'll find some of these, especially some of the older stuff. But he told us on the podcast, I always forget, was it 30 or 35 or
When he turned 30, he was going to do like a traditional country album, like Get the Fiddles, Get the Steels, and like really do it for his mom as like a gift to her. I think he's about to turn 30 or just did. So maybe this not
drinking
this
with
next
that
one.
guy. That drinking with that guy, we've told a story before. That's just the drunkest I've ever been. Probably I couldn't even make it to him coming out. I wasn't home in bed.
Yeah, no, he's a wild man. I love it though. I mean, he's
a sweetheart.
He's got his following and he's doing it. You know, hey, like I said, to each his own. I mean, he has a little more wilder song topics. It's like he has the loops and everything, but you know, people like it. He's doing something, and that one when it comes back to artists and their influences of what we like and what are the music we make from our influences. That's the most important part. Whether it's pop, whether it's Cole, whether it's me, it's different. And that's why I always, when you would say pop, country, Cole, or Thomas, or Kane, it's like everybody's just doing their thing. And that's the most important part. And then there's, you know, people chasing that. And
Yeah,
that's where you don't want to be, as I would say, you know. And I mean, Morgan, Morgan Blue, he's just crazy, man. He puts new music out all the time, but he made a great record and he's killing it. And hell, I saw him at the Derby. I was like, hey buddy, you do stadiums, I'll open up for you, man. I ain't ashamed. Let's go. I've been in this game a long time. I watched Florida Georgia Line blow up. I watched Luke Combs blow up. I watched Thomas blow up. You know who opened up for all them guys? I did. Let's go.
I don't mind being the two.
I'll be in front. Let's go. Let's go.
How was the Derby? I had that in my notes actually.
Derby was great, man. It was awesome. It was my first time. I lost $1,000, but I won 2 races, and I just kept wishing that I was going to hit the big. You got to kind of learn how to bet, but it was fun. And it's a very old school kind of feeling. Everybody's dressed up, you know. It's got a lot of history, and it was a lot of fun. And I didn't have to do all the like quote unquote celebrity things because I was in a box. I didn't have to be like showboated. So I was doing my own thing. And I kind of like that because I don't have to do pictures and I don't have to watch my ass all the time. If I drink a little too much, I'm not having to worry about it.
Did you run into any big time celebs that you've never met or no? Because you were on your own little box.
No, I didn't. We tried to go to one party, but it didn't work out. But no, I met a lot. I seen a lot of friends that I haven't seen in a long time, and that was probably more important than running into somebody super famous.
There's Wes, I might get some of these names wrong, but there's an amazing photo we have saved. We might want to download for like a funny pic, but we probably should have done it. But I want to say it's like Puff Daddy, George Strait, Kid Rock,
Travis
Tritt,
in there.
like somebody else
All
back
the
in the day,
Kentucky
like 20
Derby.
years ago. They're all in the same like area. You're like,
What a
What a-
crew.
yeah, what a crew that is. Just like, because it gets everybody, right? Everybody goes there, gets dressed up, and just like Tom Brady. I mean,
Yeah.
hell, like everybody is usually
They
there.
were, I see all the like mega celebrities were at the F1 race.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
And that was the same day, and that was Miami. I was like, what is this? Like Tom Brady was there. Maybe it was all
Like I'm at
kinds
the
of-
wrong event.
Oh, I
don't
did see that Kygo, like that EDM DJ. He was posting a lot of photos. I was like, what the hell is this?
Yeah, no, it was like there was like actors and all kinds of stuff. I was like, I mean, I'm glad I just kept it down home at the Derby.
Yeah.
Keep it
Speaking of
simple.
Kid Rock, have you ever met him?
Oh yeah, Bob's a great friend, man.
I've heard his place is absolutely insane. Have you been out there?
Oh yeah, no,
What's it like?
He's got his big barn he calls Rusty where his studio's at, and that's awesome. And he likes a pickleball. I think pickleball. He likes playing that, and he's got like Waylon's Cadillac in there. And he just like Bob's a good friend, but I will say this about Bob: he is truly the only rock star that is my friend. I mean, that guy is a rock star. He, if he goes out, somebody goes, oh my God, Kid Rock is. I mean, he's a rock star, and you go to his house, rock star stuff. Everything's rock star. Everything is like Pardi. Everything's neat. He's got style. I was
gonna say nothing tacky over there. John
No.
Rich has a fucking pool-shaped guitar.
No, Bob built a White House. He has literally the front of his house looks like the White House.
Guitar-shaped
Like,
pool, sir.
And then his pool is like a cool infinity pool that looks over all of Nashville. Like John Rich's house was cool. No, it's not. It's not as cool as Bob's. Like Bob is a rock star. Like literally, I always say that about him. He's a good friend and he's a rock star.
He's one of those guys. Obviously, he's always in the news for a lot of things. People just, the Twitter world and all that. But aside from that, like we've told this, but when Wes and I met him, he was doing a United Center in Chicago, and
Yeah, big arena show.
and I was just like, even if you hate this music, because we were just like, okay, we'll go. Like we got invited by the label, and that's like a fucking production. That's like a fucking show. Like you had, and then the backstage thing. The funniest part was bologna sandwiches on white bread and like Fireball and Coors Light type. Like it was just it was like very like what you would. It almost made me feel like, oh, this is like homey. Like this is nice.
Yeah.
Like it's not like pretentious. And he was super polite and soft spoken for a guy that's like that energetic on stage, even at his age, as he's been doing it for a long time. And I was just like, oh, I think a lot of people just focus on like, in the Twitter world, which I know you're not a big tweeter, which is smart, but like the world of the internet these days. But when we met him and we did stuff, I was like, oh, this is fun. This is cool. And the show was
super down
wild.
to earth.
We're going
Yeah.
to go. We're gonna go see him in June. We're gonna go see. We went to one show and then we watched from the front of house, and I had my cowboy hat on, and a lot of fans that they want to get a picture, and so we kind of went back. Well, Bob was like, "Hey man, why are you watching from the side stage? So you need to watch from front of house the whole time.
Yeah.
The whole time. You want
That's where we were. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, all right, I'll wear a ball cap the next time. So we're gonna go watch and Summer's parents to come in, and it's a production, man. But he always says, well, hell, I wrote Cowboy. I was like, well, damn, I love Cowboy.
Right.
And if you look back at his big hits, I mean, there's some monster hits in there, and it's a fun show. And Bob's always got something to tell me. Well, you need to do this. You need to do this. I was like, I don't have as much money as you. I can't do that.
I don't care who you are. If you're gonna sit here and try to tell me Bob what to buy, I still won't get you fucking
it's
amped right
Bob
now.
what the Bob. And then that Metallica riff that he made a song out of was better.
Oh yeah.
I'm going platinum.
Yeah.
That's that American Badass. I don't know.
Or Devil Without a Cause, was that?
Yeah,
maybe?
I know. No. I'm gonna find it right now.
Yeah, Bob with the Bob, when he played that live and he like jumps like 8 feet in
he's
the
still.
air.
Could have been a basketball player.
And explosions and fireworks and sparks. You're like, Okay, I'm at a show. I'm at like a real show.
No, I mean he puts on.
There was a
show.
funny story what somebody told us about him like pulling up in like a Bentley or something at somebody's house.
I think that was
It
Jaron Johnston's house in a
Oh.
Rolls Royce with like
right.
4 Navy SEALs. And he's like, he backed it all the way into my long ass driveway. And he just, all these Navy SEALs get out. And then Bob was in the back seat. And he's like, a Bentley's to drive and a Rolls Royce is to be driven. And don't forget that. It's just like,
yeah, no, he's got style, dude. I'm telling you, go to his house. Yeah, it's American Badass. 30 pack of hose. But yeah, no, he's one thing Bob told me. He goes, hey, look, you pay a lot of people, you work hard. He's like, get $10,000 cash each show. Every show we get $10,000 cash. I was like, Bob, what am I gonna do with all that cash? Like, literally, that's a lot of cash, like just to carry around them on a tour bus. So,
case.
yeah, I'm like that's too much. But I did take out. I get $1,000 for every. So every 3 shows I get $2,000 cash, and it's been really nice for like tip in, and we go out tip people, and he told me that, and I was like, yeah, that was actually a great idea, because it just, you feel like you're doing something. Like everybody likes cash, you work for tips, you know how much a tip is. So like, or what it feels like to just get that $5, and so he kind of told me like get some cash out each show, and I've been doing that, and really I don't have any cash anymore because I gave it to everybody. But
take out cash.
You're like, yeah, what's up, dude? I got $100. Here you go. You struggling? Go Taco Bell. Like, here's $100.
It's a change. Yeah.
But that was something he told me, and I don't know. It's been kind of helpful, and it helps people out too, like this on the service industry.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
I like that. I mean, if you got the means, I think that's
that's
cool.
if you don't tip well, like you're dead to me. Like I it's just like one of my biggest.
I've
pet
heard
peeves.
like I think it was, not saying that I don't know this, but I heard like Usher like tipped like a signed photograph of him. I just heard like a waiter like worked hard.
Well, even
like,
Scottie Pippen had a big thing in Chicago for years. They call him like no tipping Pippen.
Man, you can't do that. I want people to want me back.
Yeah, like I've heard multiple stories about like back where I grew up, when Michael Jordan in his heyday, like he would go to the casinos in Northwest Indiana from Chicago, right there along Lake Michigan, and he would go there and like he'd be gambling, he'd lose, and he'd still tip her like $5,000. He'd just like boom, like
caddies at the golf course too.
Yeah, caddy, like everybody says Jordan was always an amazing tipper, which is like good to hear, because obviously growing up favorite player and all that. Not a big LeBron fan, so like when I hear Jordan's a great tipper, it makes you happy. But,
have you ever heard about Jordan's golf game?
No.
Oh, I've only been told the story. It's like legendary, but like he golfs so fast that he can golf like 2 rounds of 18. Like he can go, so like he'll hit, like they're all speed golf, but it's all good. Like it's not like
he's just going through like
no, it's all good hits, like bam on the green. And like my friends who like, I think Bob would want to tell me like, if you go, you let Jordan go around you because you ain't gonna keep up with him. He's gonna pass you, or you're gonna slow him down. And he has like a full-on fleet of friends and like security, and it's like, but they're all speed golfing and they're all killing it. And I thought that was pretty impressive. But I've heard the same thing about Jordan. He's just a great dude, great tipper, but he's definitely a good golfer, and he definitely likes to go fast. That's just what I've been told, man. I thought it was pretty cool. I was like, damn, he's playing it right.
You mentioned something about the cash in the shows. This is always something I find interesting, and fans do too. And we've had a couple guests talk about it, but I think fans kind of have like a misconception about like how much money you guys, maybe not you now, but when you're starting out, you're playing a festival or something, like you guys don't get paid very much, because after you get the money, whatever, when you're starting out, it's like you got to pay the band, you got to pay for gas, you got to pay for everything, right? It's a real serious grind.
That shit don't change. That don't change.
No, it doesn't change, of course.
I got 4 buses. It's $1,000 a fuel tank. on each bus right now. And that's not including the 2 semi trucks. So I don't know. I mean, maybe $7,000 each time we fill up, which is every day, we're on the road. And then you got salaries and it's a lot and it's great. But, I'll be honest, we'll make, I made $7 million last year and profited 600,000 for the company. And if and then you got to save that to get through like the holiday seasons so you can pay your guys and keep them comfy. Right. But like, it's just, I don't got a Bentley. I'll tell you that. I mean,
yeah, fans don't realize like what goes into it sometimes. Some do, of course, but like,
yeah, but it's always fans. I mean, it's a business. It's not like, I love when friends back home that are just so oblivious. Like they still think I'm $1,200. Yeah. Hey man, Pardi come play. Give him about $1,500. All he needs, man. Bring his semis and buses and everything. Yeah, that'd be good. My friends don't even talk like that, but just funnier. Yeah. But but it's a lot, but it's for the experience, and that's why we pay the guys. That's why we have great sound. That's why we have great bands. That's why we have great light guys, because we want our fans to be happy. And if I walk away getting by in life and having a good time and I can afford a truck, hell, and the fans are happy, that's good with me. I got 5 cows and 5 goats. Shit, let's go. I mean, a horse would be nice, but damn, that's a money pit too. But
horses. Oh man, such a money suck.
Dude, I mean, damn, they get expensive. But my point is, it's like, yeah, I mean, hopefully it changes one day, but it definitely is a lot. And I mean, one of my favorite stories I say about, growing as an artist is I bought my van that I toured in. I got it's here at the house. I got my E350 12-passenger van that we brought to Joe's and on weed, and we toured around the South when I was just this California kid, and it's here right now, and it's with me, and it's another thing to keep the steam engine going.
That's how we look at things. Just next day, keep grinding, keep going. Do you have any dates coming up in Colorado? That's where I'm living these days.
We got
I can look it up. I'm just curious. It'd be fun to go to a Jon Pardi show out here.
We got the Stampede thing.
Oh, that's right. I think Miranda's there. I forgot. My wife was looking up something.
Yeah, I mean, we got a lot of shows coming up, but yeah. But I mean, hey, if we got Greeley, Colorado, June 1st, and that's all I know right now. I don't know where Greeley. You know where Greeley is?
Actually, I don't. I'm still learning.
That's the Stampede thing. That's in Greeley, Colorado, Island Grove Regional Park.
Are you off this weekend? Because on a Friday, usually we expect you to be like,
I'm off this weekend. We went hard last year. We went really hard, but I made it. Like I said, that whole $600,000. Well, that's why we're not working right now, just because we're having that comfortable like time off, which is important. I got to make an album. I can't just tour the whole time.
Right. Yeah.
And so, just been doing that. And, so yeah, we got some time off, but come June and July, it's going to be busy.
Full throttle.
Yeah. We got the tour. The Ain't Always a Cowboy tour, Lainey Wilson and Hailey Whitters. Two of my favorites.
Amazing.
I love those girls.
Just had them on them.
Hailey's albums fantastic, and so is Lainey's, and they're friends. I got history with them, and I came up with They Ain't Always the Cowboy tour, and I wanted Lainey and Hailey.
That's awesome.
I didn't even ask anybody else, and I got lucky because like Lainey's just getting all awards, and she's doing big stuff, but everybody was in, and because they're friends, and that's who you want to tour with, your friends. You won't tour with anybody, but when you can tour with your friends, it's even more of a memory,
And two of the best young artists, I would say. Like,
we just had Hailey on. We were telling her we went to your show with Midland and Runaway June a couple years back.
Mhm.
It was so much fucking fun. Like we just had a blast.
That's
And
a good one.
we were telling Hailey, like, oh, from what I can tell, it's fun on the road with Jon.
Oh yeah. No, we got a big bar backstage and we hang. And I've been being good though. You know, I got to take care of myself. I gotta remember that the next day there's also a bunch of fans there that don't want to see me hungover. They don't want. And I went through a bunch of vocal problems in 2020 and no 2020 last year. But I think it's just because we weren't touring and we're just sitting at home. And hell, I mean, in 2020, was anybody not drinking a lot? I mean, I was.
Yeah,
I mean,
and my son was born right when that hit, so I was you're trapped in your house with a newborn drinking
every day.
Yeah, I mean, we were working on the ranch at just 10 o'clock. Hell, the sun's out. Let's drink a beer. So
Dig a hole, drink a beer.
Hey, dig a hole, bear some stuff, drink a beer, throw the beer bottle in it. But now I've learned to take care of myself, go to bed early, and for the fans, man. I mean, once you start headlining, you start selling tickets. It's not just an opening act thing anymore. And I want to show up and always have a good show. That's my goal these days, and always make good music and shake everybody's hand or high five. And you know, like that one interview that everybody sends me all the time is beers, water, high five, get on stage, just another day kicking ass.
Amen.
That's amazing. That's it. That's the best way to end it. New single, Last Night Lonely. Album hopefully coming in the next few months.
September. It'll be out September. I'm gonna knock these vocals out.
If Jon can get down to the Key West and record the vocals,
I'll get there. I'm gonna get there.
Awesome. Jon, love it. Lots of laughs. Appreciate it, man. All right, Matt Guy, question. Do you consider yourself, or is it widely considered that you're the GOAT cornhole player, the greatest of all time?
Yeah, it's widely considered that I'm the GOAT for sure. You know, I used to kind of, you know, I would get called that, you know, a few years back. I'd be like, yeah, whatever. But, you know, I learned hey, it is what it is. My record speaks for itself. So embrace it, run with it, and have fun with it. So that's where I'm at.
right? Like people call George Strait the king of country music enough, and eventually he's like, yeah, you know what, I'm the king. Like,
yeah, right.
When is it? Because I have some right here. I'm in Colorado. My kid, he's 2 years old. He likes to just grab the bags and put them in, and then so he's a ways away. But you know, like your average person, they play, and it's like you get excited if you get a shot in on the. For you guys, it's like if you don't make it on a throw, is it considered like a failure? If you're not getting it in, it's like shooting free throws, right? For you guys.
Yes.
Jeez.
It is. I mean, if I don't make, and again, I go into every game thinking, okay, all I got to do is make every bag I throw in a hole, and I can't lose. That's how I go in with the mentality of every game. Make every bag, I can't get beat.
easy enough.
I mean, right?
I just,
but
it's
that is the mentality.
It's
right?
one of those games,
right.
like, so in college you would play, like, you know, people play beer pong and flip cup and these things, and then from the Midwest, though, we called it bags. I was from like the Indiana, Chicago area. Everybody called it bags, I think.
Yep.
But then now it's kind of like cornhole bags. Kind of everybody says it. But the game for people like us, I think you get better at it the drunker you get. It's just like one of those games. You get looser, you have more drinks, you get better.
More confidence.
You guys are ripping shots before you go out there, right? It's just no beers. The beers are for after, or how does it work?
No. So, and actually I've been down every little bit of that road you just talked about, right? So I've been to the shots, and the shots are fine for that quick, just relax, try to calm moment, right? But problem with the hard stuff is it hits you before you know it, and then you've gone too far, and there ain't no coming back once you go too far, right?
Yep.
Whereas with, you know, like I do now is beer, I just kind of pregame myself prior to the tournament just to get a little buzz going, not drunk, just a little buzz going, and get that relaxed, get that relaxed feeling down, and then I just pace myself the rest of the day. So, you know, by the end of the day of these long tournaments that go 12 hours, yeah, I've had quite a few beers, but I'm not really drunk. because
See,
I
that's
just kind
awesome
of
that you can
pace myself all day.
you can make a living being the best cornhole player and drink some beers. And I mean, come on, it's tough. It's tough to beat. There's not a lot of sports.
That's every man's dream, isn't it?
I've also noticed when I'm watching on TV some of the cornhole tournaments, a lot of the players have like AirPods or some kind of headphones in. Are you an AirPod guy, and what are you listening to?
So for the past 2 years, I've been an AirPod guy. Yes. What am I listening to? It's all 80s. Every song on my playlist is just 80s headbanger stuff. It's Motley Crue, Judas Priest. There's Van Halen. There's Kiss. I mean, Tesla. It's all 80s headbang, just high hard rock adrenaline stuff to get my blood flowing per se, right? So that's what mine is. And the reason I went to AirPods is one, it does kind of just set you in your own little world, right? It really does. It just sets you in your own little world. But number two is it also, I got way more people rooting against me to win than I do rooting for me to win. So it just drowns all that out too. So, there's a few reasons to it, but the main reason is it just kind of sets me in my own little world and kind of turns that laser focus on.
Nice.
When the music hits, it's time to focus and let's go.
It's time to go. Yeah. So out here in Colorado, there's just like breweries everywhere. And usually the breweries have like a big like outdoor space where there's music or picnic tables, but there's almost always a set of bags or cornhole.
Oh, absolutely.
Always. Do you ever pretend like, do you ever get involved and just kind of be like, oh yeah, I'll play, like, and then next thing you know, everybody's like, what in the hell is going on right now?
No, it's been a long time since that's happened, but I have in the past, just to get some laughs, I have done it, but it's been quite a while since that's happened.
You're not hustling college kids out of their beer money at the local bar.
I am not.
Or at the
I am not a
tailgate,
hustler.
yeah.
I mean, I don't have big enough guns to do that. Get my butt kicked.
What's the league like, and where you play in these tournaments and these types of, are there, like, even in NASCAR or plenty of sports, and even in golf, there's like rivalries, like there's people that like, there's co-competitors that can't stand each other, and does it ever get pretty heated out there, or is everybody kind of in their own little space world, so to speak?
Man, I mean, just speaking from me and the players that I'm friends with and know, and I mean, there's no hatred out there, but there's definitely competitive rivalries out there, 100%. Yeah. I mean, I know for sure there's guys that want to beat me so bad they can taste it, and I tend to step up my game a little bit when I'm playing those guys because I know how bad they want it. It just spikes me up a little bit to beat them. But I'm sure between some players there's definitely some I can't stand that guy, or that guy pissed me off one time and I want to beat it. I'm sure that goes on, but
yeah,
for me personally, nah. I mean, I pretty much just laugh and chuckle the whole time, except when the bell rings and the game starts, then I'm all business.
Are you more of a fan of singles or doubles? Because sometimes when I'm playing with my wife, I'm like, hello, like, you need to start hitting the board. Like, we're getting down in a hole.
Because if you're playing doubles and your partner sucks, you have no chance. You got to go on a Matt Guy streak to win.
Sometimes that ain't even enough. I mean, seriously. I mean, I've had perfect games in doubles before where I've lost. Like, I mean, when you're playing in doubles, it takes two. So with that said, I'm more of a fan of singles because it's all on me. If I win, if I lose, it's 100% on me. And doubles, could be my fault, could be his fault, but I didn't have total control of it. And that's what I like about singles is I got one person to look at if I'm not in the winner's circle, and that's right in the mirror.
Yeah. We, when I bought our boards, they're wooden and they like painted like the Colorado flag on them. But my wife's like, oh, you're spending a lot on that. I was like, tell me I'm wrong here, but the cheaper like plastic sets aren't as good as like wooden ones. If you're like because they bounce so like they just bounce like a mother, like, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. Not even close. Yep.
Yeah.
I
just noticed that. Yeah.
When it comes to like selecting a bag for yourself, is it like a very like detailed process, or is it something that doesn't require as much like attention to detail as you would think?
So for me, I would say no. So like when we signed our contract with Fire Cornhole, when we agreed to be players for Fire, they hadn't even made a bag yet. And I was like, dude, I know you're gonna make a good bag. Just make a bag. It's up to me to throw it down the middle. I'll work it out. I'll figure it out because that's what I do. Because I mean, back in the early days, when you go to some of these tournaments, you never know what you was getting. You didn't know if you was gonna have bouncy boards, boards that didn't slide, extra fast boards, corn bags that were fat, corn bags that were thin. I mean, it was just a game of adjustment, almost game to game at some of these tournaments. So I've been adjusting my game to the equipment my whole life per se. So I just told Jason, hey, make me a bag. It's up to me to throw it down the middle. And the bags he made last year, I said, yeah, I like that one. I like that one. And as he progresses with bags, I'll pick and, oh yeah, I really like this one. Just like the incinerators right now just fit every aspect of my game. They just play perfect for what I do. So they're my bag of choice right now and have been for about 8 months now. So the bags have come so far and make such a big difference in the bag or in the game. And I think that's why you see so many good players out there. They get good quick. I mean, quick, just because the bags are so forgiving. Just the day and age we're in, that's where the game's at.
Well, it's funny because in baseball, that's a big talk right now with the ball being an issue with the ball. I think are they saying it's a dead ball? I think right now, but it's like bowlers, have their ball deflate gate with Tom Brady. Like you don't have a guy in the back, like take a little out, just take a little bit of that.
Empty some of that.
Take an ounce out, an ounce of weight out, sew it back together.
Yep. I don't have that, dude, but I'm sure, Lord knows it probably goes on somewhere.
What's the most shots consecutively you've ever made?
56.
56?
56.
Oh my God.
Is that
56? And then
you did 2 in a row. People like us at 2 in a row. We were like start doing the moonwalk outside. We're fucking jacked.
Yep, 56 in a row. I had a game in Chicago back in September where I went 44 for 44 for the game. So that's my longest perfect game ever. I don't even
think most NBA players would hit 44 straight feet for
No. I mean,
you could take Luka, you could take any of the best shooters, and you're probably gonna miss one. I mean,
there's just days where everything clicks, man.
What's the distance? Because when we were setting it up, I was trying to be precise. I got the tape measure out. I was on Google. I was like, no, it's got to be this distance. It's always the same distance, right?
Yep, 27 feet from front of board to front of board.
Okay. Yeah.
Do you still?
I mean, it's actually 3 feet longer than an NBA 3-pointer. Put that in your mind.
Jeez.
NBA 3-pointer is 3 foot longer than that.
Wow. Do you still practice so many hours every day?
Not every day, but I mean, definitely 2 to 3 days a week I practice because, got a normal job, work 10, 12 hours a day. So, but there's a lot of the younger generation right now that, hey, they're out of school. They don't have a job. They make enough money playing cornhole. They don't need one. Good for them. I mean, so that's, I hear stories and seen interviews of guys 5, 6, 7 days a week, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hours a day. Hey, if I could do it, I'd do it.
What do you do? So you do have you got that the Hunter West, Cam Haynes, he still kept his day job, even though he's one of the best bow hunters in the world. And he kind of just he's no, it keeps me grounded to keep my job before I got known. So you're saying you have a full-time job and then you do this cornhole stuff when
correct.
That's impressive.
Correct. I mean, I got, I still got a kid at home. I got 2 that I've raised already, but I still got a kid at home and a wife and bills. So, can't depend on cornhole right now.
Are you at work now? You had to sneak into a room to talk to us?
I am. Yep. Which I'm in sales, so I don't punch a time clock. I kind of come and go as I please or need to. So it's flexible. It is flexible.
Nice. That's the way to do it.
And you got started as a horseshoe player, correct?
I did. Yeah. I had 27 years pitching horseshoes. Me and my dad traveling the country pitching horseshoes.
In Kentucky, right? You're from Kentucky?
From Kentucky. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's a little easier, right? Horseshoes are a little easier.
No. No. So horseshoe, you're throwing a 2-pound, 10-ounce shoe, almost 40 feet.
Oh,
From peg
okay,
to
yeah.
peg is 40 feet, and it's 2 pounds, 10 ounces. So, cornhole, you got a 1-pound bag, you're throwing 27 feet. So
Yeah, that makes
much
sense.
easier on the body. And to me, it was just, I took my horseshoe pitch right into my cornhole pitch. Didn't change a thing other than, how far I had to throw it. Everything else just came natural. That's why I was just so good instantly. I just threw it the same way and it worked.
Wow. I would have thought horseshoes would have been a little easier, but I guess
It makes sense now when I hear the distance.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because I was
Yep,
thinking
yep.
like, oh, you just gotta hit the thing, like, versus getting on the
Yeah.
hole, playing.
Just
What's
gotta hit
the-
it.
Is there an angle? Because sometimes when I'm playing with my wife, she tends to kind of just like fucking like line drive it. I'm like, it's just gonna slide right off the board. You want that like St. Louis arch, right?
It depends on
Depends.
it
the
depends
person.
on who's throwing it and how you throw it. Because
Yeah.
I can throw a low line drive and control it, or I can throw that high floater shot and control it. But like, we're talking about wives here. I've been playing for 22 years and I still can't get my wife to throw a straight bag. It's just not, the hand-eye coordination is just not her DNA. It's just not.
Ooh.
I've tried, and it just, in fact, just on the joke, and she knows. I mean, we've had this discussion many times. Like say when say Brett would have a bad round or a bad game, he was like, "Yeah, I must have pulled my mom's DNA up for that one."
Oh man, it sounds like just a good time.
Yeah.
For me, it just screams like the game itself just screams like spring, summer, beers, friends,
Yes.
music.
Yes.
So it's pretty cool to have like guys like you out there kind of like just wiping the floor with people professionally.
Right.
you don't
I mean,
you don't think about it enough.
I mean, that's just so cool. It's a game literally 8-year-old to 80-year-old can play and be competitive. I mean, it really is kind of that simple of a game, but when you get at this level, it's not that simple of a game. but
Right.
but everybody in the ACL says it. Anybody can play, anybody can win. That's very true. Very true.
Do they have open tournaments or is it like more like qualifying and stuff like that?
Yeah, no, they have opens. Yep. They have we have regionals, we have conference tournaments, we have open tournaments, and then we have nationals. But once you get into like the nationals and the shootouts, that's when you have to be a pro. But like to play in the regionals and the states and the opens, you can just be, a member and play. And that's where you start learning to play and playing against better competition and building that ranking to get to the pro. So it's definitely a process to get there.
Nice. The last
Awesome.
question here before we let you
Sure.
go. If you
Sure.
are drinking beer during a game, what's the go-to beer? What's going to bring out the best in us? Like I got a little Shiner Rock and Coors Light here, but
So far this year, Coors Light has actually been my beer of choice. So that's what I'm drinking so far this
beautiful.
year. When available, like the last tournament, they only had 3 options, and Coors Light wasn't one of them. But so far this year, it's been Coors Light has been my beer of choice.
There you go. Well,
And statistically wise, I'm having my best year to date. So
Wow.
maybe there's something to
Beautiful.
that.
bringing that juju over here, I like it.
Right.
Well,
Right.
Matt, awesome catching up and meeting you. And now I feel like I got to go sharpen up my skills a little bit.
Right. I gotta go tighten them up.
So it's a simple game. Just throw every bag down the middle. It's a simple game.
Just throw it in the hole.
My goal now is just to get 5 in a row. If I can get 5 in a row, because I've gotten 2 or 3 maybe, but I don't know. I
Gotcha.
don't keep track. Hey, if
Gotcha.
I get 5, I'll let you know.
All right.
All right.
Thanks, Matt.
Appreciate it.
All right, fellas. Hey, anytime, man. You want to talk again? You got my info. Just hit me up. Be happy to do it.
Definitely, man. Thank you.
We'll do.
All right.
Cheers.
guys.
See you.